hope y'all are doing good. I had a great weekend. Welcome to everyone. If you are new, I'm the Vidgamechx, and I have another paranormal story for you guys. I know it's been a few streams since I've talked about anything paranormal, but I figured now would be a good time. But I was in the middle of playing Monster Hunters. Like, I'm playing on stream. How much time do I have left on this? I've got 22 minutes left. Darn. That's fine. Let me save this and jump off. So yeah, I'm playing on stream, which is this gameplay right here. I'm level 5. I've been playing off stream and been having a hell of a time on this game. So let me hop off of here. And shout out to Black Gamer God and Menace, the Menace and Sloth on Twitch. We were playing Mario Party Superstars the other day, and it was so much fun. Oh my gosh, where do I freaking begin? I need something to kind of play in the background while I talk. I mean, I could just talk to you guys, but I've always had trouble just doing one thing. I have to have like 4 things going at the same time in order to properly focus, which is kind of weird and I don't know why that is, but hey. Let's see. Something that's not too taxing. I guess puzzle car. I don't know if I beat this game or not, but oh gosh. I am actually like really tired. I probably look tired, but hey. Let me turn the music all the way down because I'm not sure if this music is copywritten or not. I hope not, but anyway, matter of fact, just let me turn it off. Oh. Anyway, this is a pretty like straightforward game. It's called Puzzle Car. You basically rearrange the streets so that way you can get your little car through traffic, and that's all it is. Um, let me see. Oops, my bad, y'all. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh, wrong one. I'm gonna get it. Okay, so to start the story, I basically while I ran into two. Well, me and my husband, we were going out to get some lunch one day, right? And it was kind of like at a food court at an outlet mall. So um he walks up to the counter and he orders food. I don't know what I want, so I just basically have him order something for me, right? And there's these two young ladies sitting at a table near where this area is, right? And so we basically, hold on, let me add a little bit of music because it is kind of quiet. So we basically just, they called me over because they noticed my book bag. I have on my book bag, which is, dang, I can barely see this, which is like, advertising my my channel, right? And they are asking me all of these questions about my book bag, and I'm like, my book bag is basically it's a gift. I don't know where I got it from. And they are asking like, hey, is the book bag your company? And I'm like, no, it's not. It's telling you everything I want you guys to know. And so they're chatting and they're super nice. And they asked me to explain what I do, right? Which was the fun part because I love talking, right? And so I kind of gave them a little rundown of the stuff I, talk about on stream, which is paranormal everything, right? At least from my point of view. And I kind of said the word, I'm a mini medium. And once I said that, it was like the floodgates of questions open. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all. It actually helped. And I never even considered myself like a medium. So I was excited about it. Okay, how do I... Okay, there we go. Hit the Y button. So I told them that, and they lit up, and they was like, okay, well, can you read me? And I'm like, well, I've never tried to like read a person before, just off of request, but I'll try. And so I looked at her, and I closed my eyes, and I'm like, I'm not getting anything. I'm not getting anything. And then I start hearing all of this stuff. It was like a bunch of whispers at the same time. And I think it was basically her giving me permission to enter her energy, right? And once I did that, the first thing out my mouth was, you're a very good person, but people don't seem to reciprocate that same energy to you. In other words, did I do it right? So now what? Oh. And when I said that, she was like, oh shit, she knows what she's talking about. And I'm thinking to myself, I hope I'm not saying anything wrong, or I hope that, she don't curse me out or think I'm guessing, because, I'm actually hearing this stuff. Then I hear someone say, you love people too hard, or you care so much about people, but they end up disappointing you. And so I say this to her, and the other lady is like, and she looks dead at me. And the other lady, she's like, can you try me now? But she says it like really, really nice, right? She was like, can you try me now? And I was like, sure. And the first thing I did when I looked in her eyes, I saw firecrackers going off. And I'm like, oh shit, you're a firecracker. You're the I'm not going to say the hothead, but you're the one that nobody, tries to get over on. And they look at each other, and it's like the funniest thing ever. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, I hope I'm not messing this up. And it was like, damn, you are like really good at this. So we get to talking, and I feel like I'm getting all this information. It's pouring in, and I can't get it out to them fast enough. So I'm trying to take each little message and give it a little bit at a time, because it literally feels like 50 people are trying to talk to me, right? And my ears are getting hot, y'all, and I'm standing in front of them and they're looking at me like, oh, I hope she ain't gonna pass out. But I'm just like, whoa, is this what it's like for people? Because I'm new to this. I'm a baby in this situation, right? And so I explained to the first lady that, she's a very kind woman, a very trusting and nurturing soul. But, there are people out there that she loves and trusts and everything that they don't appreciate her, basically. And for the other one, out of nowhere, I get, whatever you're working on, don't stop working on it, because it's gonna pop off later in the future, right? Which is kind of crazy because I'm also working on something, and I wish my ancestors would let me know, hey, am I even doing anything out here? Because it feels like I'm just dangling, but I don't know if these are her people or I'm picking up, like, I look at them and of course they look alike, but if you're not, looking, then you'll be like, oh, they're like sisters. And I'm like, y'all look alike, joking. They're like, yeah, we're twins. And then I pay attention and then I look and I'm like, oh shit, they really are. That's why my messages keep getting kind of jumbled, because they look so much alike. Personality wise, unless they said something, you wouldn't be able to tell who is who. I never asked for their names because I didn't need it, right? And then I kind of started asking, okay, so I'm picking up summertime for somebody. It's not a birthday. I don't feel like you guys are born in the summertime at all. But I feel like it's an important. And then I messed up and said the word end day. And one of the twins was like, oh, I had a loved one pass last summer. And I'm like, oh, woo, okay, it's getting a little too crazy, because it's on my end, what I'm experiencing. I'm getting all these messages. I'm kind of still in disbelief of my actual talent, so you say, right? And I feel like, I don't know, the information came to me so very easily, and I feel like I could talk to them about this stuff all day. But, I'm looking over to my husband trying to see if the food is coming, because, I'm hungry and I know he's hungry. And I said, okay, I'm getting summer for somebody. And one of them, she was like, yeah, I had a loved one pass last summer. It was, kind of around like August or something like that. And I said, okay, well, if you don't mind, can you tell me your birthday? Not the year, but just, month and day, right? And so they said like October, I think it was like October 10th or something like that. It was definitely in the fall, right? And I'm thinking to myself, wow, that is so neat, because I'm not getting, I think they were Scorpios. I don't know. It was either like the 10th or like the 19th, but it was Scorpio vibes I was getting, right? And I'm like kind of into astrology and stuff like that. So, astrology does interest me a little bit. Not saying I can tell exactly what type of personality you are just by your zodiac signs. I know some people, they ain't trying to hear that at all. But, some stuff is kind of interesting the more you get into it, right? Oh, there's stop signs. Okay, these two arrows are backwards. All right, let's see this one. And so, I'm trying to remember what else they asked me, because they asked me kind of like very specific stuff, and the answer that I gave them seemed to match what type of question they were asking. And the little voice in the back of my head is thinking, oh, I'm going to mess this up. I'm going to mess this up. I don't want them to curse me out in public. What am I doing? Mainly because I've never read somebody before. But on the other hand, the messages I was getting, they were like, calm down, you got this. Just repeat what you hear. Calm yourself, right? And so I listened to the voices. And it turned out all right. And I gave them my little sticker logos. I don't have any close to me anywhere, I don't think. What did I wear earlier? No, I don't have any with me, but I did show you guys my little sticker logos that I got from like Sticker app. I bought like 200 of them, but I do see myself buying like another set because they're very popular. Oh, I did that wrong. I need a corner. Oh, wrong corner. Anyway, so we ended up getting our food and wrong one. And they pretty much thanked me, right? Which was awesome because I wasn't expecting to have anything, message wise come through. And as we're walking off, then I get, you should have told her that there's a woman that's jealous of her and to be careful. Oh, well, okay. Let me back up just a little bit. There was a message that came through that said basically to watch the people around her when, good news comes. Pay attention to how somebody, the face they make when you say something, or, if you celebrate something, look at everybody around you and see who's not celebrating as much. And that'll tell you a whole lot about people, right? And that goes for myself and everybody else too. Be aware of how people are around you, because sometimes their body language will tell you everything you need to know about them, right? For example, if you say something funny and everybody laughs, but one person is like, watch out for that one person, right? Because sometimes they're the ones that try to sabotage you behind your back. They're the ones that are probably jealous of you. So be aware. Oh, I think this one goes here. And let me put this over here. And then swap these two. That's so cute how they cross the street and then do a little twirl. All right. But yeah, after I told her that, she seemed to kind of understand what I was saying or who exactly I was talking about. But from that, I was getting like not an older woman, but somebody a little bit older than her, maybe 5 years or less than her. And so like, then we get our food and we're leaving, and I wave them off and they wave to me. And as I'm watching them walk away, I hear somebody's jealous of you, be careful, right? And I'm not finna go chase her down just to tell her that, because I'm pretty sure she could figure it out from the other stuff I told her. So I told my husband, I was like, that's the first time I ever read somebody, and I was so nervous. And he was like, oh, well, you read me all the time, but you never notice. And I'm like, do I really? So I think that was one of the coolest things that's happened in the last few weeks, I did go, I visited my grandma not too long ago, and she lives near graveyards, right? There's a big one, and on either side of this big either side of this big graveyard, there's an elementary and a high school, right? And on the opposite side, okay, so let's just imagine that this graveyard is a big square, right? On one part of the square is the elementary. The other side is the high school. And then the other side, the third side, is another cemetery. And then the fourth side is like a street, right? So as I'm passing through, one cemetery is definitely more active than the other cemetery. And I feel it every single time we pass by there. And so this, I guess, a cemetery that's across the street from the main one, it seems to have the older souls in it. However, these souls seem to be I don't know how to describe this, but these souls seem to, like, they just don't like all the traffic that comes through, because they call it noisy, right? Well, I've heard noisy a few times. Let's see how this goes. And every once in a while, we'll pass through these two graveyards, and I'll look left and right, and sometimes I'll get a glimmer of one of them, and it literally looks like a glitch in the Matrix, but not as pronounced. Thank you for following High End Theorist, and welcome. Yes, we're singing. All right, so I'll look over and I'll see it looks like an actual glitch in the Matrix, but it's foggy, right? And I know it's one of them because, you know, I see them every single day. So this particular time, I just, you know, I acknowledge them and keep it moving. I don't, you know, go out of my way to be like, hey, I can see you guys. Come talk to me. I never do that. And so, I mean, it's just something to mention. It's nothing like super big that happens, but I think I might explore like reading people more from now on. But the only thing about that is, I might actually have to be like in their presence in order to pick it up. I don't know if I could read someone online, because that would be kind of like interesting to see. All right, let's see if this one works. Oh, I did it wrong. I did that one wrong. They're supposed to go through all of them. Darn it. Go back. Oh well. But let's see. I'm gonna try one day, but I think it would be harder to try to read someone across the internet, because you never know who's on the other end watching you or what intention that person might have. So I always wonder, like, how do like people do that? Oh my gosh, I hate playing this. I would play Uno, but Uno's got like copywritten music in it, and it gets on my last nerves. And then it messes up my stream for some reason. anyways, that might actually be a really, really short stream because I've told my story. All right, let me see. Let me look at some of the questions that I've gotten recently, because believe it or not, I do get a lot of people that inbox me on Instagram with their paranormal questions. And I try to help people as much as I can. But I think one of the craziest questions that I have gotten one of the craziest questions that I have gotten is like, can I teach someone how to like see ghosts or something like that? And like I explained to them, it's not something that you can teach somebody, because it's kind of like a fish trying to teach, another fish how to breathe underwater. It's just not something you can teach, right? And so that was one of the questions. Let me see. Let me read through some of these. I know one young lady, she was asking, she was saying that she has interactions with them all of her life, or she's a little bit sensitive as far as like she would hear, "Hey, Lady Noir, welcome." She was saying that she would hear her name being called, or see a glimmer in the side of her eye or something like that. But, she never really thought it was something like, big. And she was asking like, hey, how do I guess, magnify that? And I'm like, I don't know. And I'm like, well, if it's somebody in particular that you want to contact, just write them a letter, or, sit in a quiet place and talk. Because 9 times out of 10, somebody's going to hear it. They're passing by anyway. Somebody might hear it. They might pass by your person and be like, hey, I heard so-and-so say this or say that. But as far as like trying to summon somebody, no. I put a stop to that right then and there. All right. She did ask, how does she protect herself from spirits that she might not like, right? Let's say that you are finding yourself unlucky out of nowhere. Like you keep coming across things and it feels like somebody is either screwing with you, or you're just having like bad luck altogether, right? My only suggestion to you, there's plenty of like cleansing rituals out there. I've heard of the one with the egg, where you take an egg and pray around it and go over your whole body and stuff like that. I've heard of the one with the salt water, and I think it was salt water and a string or something like that. But different cultures have different ways of getting rid of unwanted spirits. I'm not into like exorcisms or stuff like that, so I can't really help as much as I want to. But if you are going through something and you kind of feel like something is not right, I always suggest to maybe sage or like clear your space the best way you can. Like open a window. I don't have any experience with sage, but I was told like if you do sage, you are supposed to open a window and go clockwise in your room or something like that, and basically tell whoever's there that they are not welcome. You must be clear in your intention when you speak to them, because if you be like, hey, I don't want you to bother me, they'll be like, okay, I'll give you 5 minutes and then I'm coming right back. You have to be specific in your request to not be bothered. if that makes sense. But let's say you're looking for someone or something specific, then you have to definitely set parameters for communication. I will never advise somebody to try to communicate with someone. I will never do that. I'll just always say, hey, if you want to try to get a message, then, write it down, tell it to the sky, the universe, whoever. Tell it to them and be confident that they'll get the message, right? But, actively trying to communicate with spirits, I do not. Nope. Now, I used to watch the little Paranormal Witness and stuff like that, and was it Ghost Hunters, where they would try to. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, do these people not know what they're doing? And I would always sit and watch like this every time, because I'm not really sure, honestly. Let me see how I could say this. The ones that I see on TV and videos and stuff like that, I want to say about out of 10 cases, about 7 of them are fairly accurate to what I see every day, right? Oh gosh. As far as some of the poltergeist looking spirits or acting spirits out there, a lot of times people don't realize that those are some of them are actually animals and not people. So when they try to communicate with them, they're not getting any leeway. Let's see. There was a person on YouTube that I was watching, and it was a guy in his apartment, and he just starts recording out of nowhere, and he's quiet, and you can hear cabinets slamming in his kitchen. And so he's going through each room to show that there's nobody in the house. So when he gets to the kitchen, you hear like, I'm tapping my fingernails on the thing, but you hear like all of this right here, and whatever it is hits the table and runs out of the room. You could hear it, but you don't see anything. And it moves a chair in the process coming towards him, and he's spooked. You can generally tell he's spooked, right? And I'm thinking to myself, that's a cat. It's definitely a cat. It's not a person. Because it was so many, I couldn't see it on the video because he was pretty much shaky cam. But the very first thought I got was, that's definitely an animal spirit. There was an animal that was really, really, really close to whoever lived there or whatever was going on in that house. And it's still there. There are animals out there that don't know that they're gone. And just like there are people out there that don't know that they're gone. So, I hope that it doesn't bother him, but I don't know how he would get rid of something like that either. Ooh, see, now my face done got hot. I would be so out of there. I would too, because I don't deal with, creature spirits. I've seen creature spirits, but sometimes creature spirits can be evil just like human spirits. So I'm not a fan of them. Okay, another question. I'm going to do one more question. Uh-oh, this is the wrong app. There it is. All right, another question. Y'all, I've been getting so many psychic bots in my inbox. They'll be like, I read your name and I felt a strong energy. Text me now for a reading. And I'm like, you came to me. No, thank you. All right. Let's see. All right. She pretty much asked the same thing. A lot of people ask pretty much the same thing. How do I contact a specific person? All right. Let's see. I know I didn't delete you guys. All right. Let's see. Nope. Not interested in you. I'm going through my what do you call it, the DMs on Instagram. All right. When I tell y'all I have like quite a few that I wasn't trying. Oh, I'm in the wrong inbox. They moved everything like into primary and then general, and I got so many in the general, and then they have like requests that I haven't even looked at yet. Let's see. Here's one. I did get a person that asked me. Let me put it on this. Okay, so I got a person to ask me what's the downside of all of this, right? If you've watched any of my older videos, I've mentioned this several times before. I think the main downside to seeing ghosts and spirits and the otherworldly traffic is that you can't turn it off at all. When I'm tired, when I'm ready to go to bed, it's still going. Like I said, I'm happy where I live now. It's not as congested as some of the other places that I live. And yes, I'm wearing my t-shirt. The whole thingy's on the side here. But one of my old apartments that I used to live in was like super busy, and some of the worst things ever that I could not just tell people is the wailing. It sounds horrible. It's not necessarily crying. It sounds like but it's not even like that. It sounds like an echo of something like that. It's really it's hard to describe, but I hear that a lot, especially if I go past a nursing home or a hospital. Some areas in hospitals I cannot. One of the worst places I went was a military cemetery, and I shout out to all of the men and women that serve our country. Y'all are very, very, very appreciated from this individual right here. Both my parents are military. The majority of my family is military. I wanted to be military myself, but my mom put a stop to that with the quickness. But yeah, the wailing is the worst. It's the crying, the wailing, the sounds of despair is what I don't like. If I could turn those off, turn it down, mute it, I would be good. But, this is why, like, people be like, oh, that's so cool. And I'm like, you better be glad you're normal. Please be glad you're normal, because this is not for the faint. And sometimes, like, when I pass by people, it's not the sound I get, it's the emotion. I feel like Velcro sometimes when I pass by people, and their emotions will Velcro to me. And it one time I passed by this guy. It was a young guy. He had to be like maybe early 20s. And I was just walking. I don't remember where I was. It was some public place. I was going somewhere, and we happened to pass by each other. And when I passed by him, the emotion of like despair was so strong, and I gasped. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And he turned around and he was like, and at the time I didn't understand what was happening, and I said, "I'm so sorry, sir. I hope you have a better day." And he looked at me like, I didn't know. I mean, I didn't tell anybody I was having a bad day, but he kind of looked sad, and he was like, "I appreciate that," and kept walking, right? And then when I got to my car, I remember crying because it was so heavy. So, a part of me is, I guess you can call it empathic. So I have to leave that alone too. It took me a while to figure out how to control that, because a lot of people carry a lot of things. So please be kind to people out there. Okay, now here's a question, and then I'll let you guys go. How can you tell if your loved one has passed on, or are they still wandering? There's no real way to tell if they're gone unless you have somebody like me to tell you. But if they're gone, you'll get reminders, constant reminders, that they're either still around or unhappy that they're not around anymore. They could literally be upset about trying to communicate. Oh, excuse me. I had some pasta earlier, and I probably need to take a drink. Here we go. All right, excuse me. Sometimes you could actually have a loved one that is upset that they can't get through to anybody, because they either don't know that they're gone, or upset that they are gone and can't do anything about it. But like, I had an aunt to pass away in like 2001, and I knew she was gone. I don't know exactly how to explain that to somebody, but I knew she was ready for it. She actually passed away from lupus. So I was maybe 15 when she passed away, and I'm way older than that now. But I still have my sad days missing her. Is this straight? And when she left, I was upset, and of course her husband was upset, my mom, and my grandma. They did not take it well. And I think maybe 2 years later, after she had passed, I got my first message from her. And I want to say it was between 2 and 5 years after she passed, I got my first message from her. And she appeared to me in my dream, right? And there was nothing wrong. She looked happy. She looked healthy. She didn't say anything. She was just in my dream, and she waved at me. And I will never forget how happy her smile made me feel, right? And I told my aunt about it, and she was like, yeah, she came to me in my dream too. And and the crazy thing is, I told my mom, and my mom was like, she visited you too. And so we all kind of cried to each other, because she had just enough energy to come to us. All right, see, that's my cue right there, because my stream was buffering a little bit. It don't ever do that. But anyway, sometimes they'll let you know it'll be from a dream, or it'll be from a smell, or some kind of action that happens. So, I'm getting a little sad about it now. I don't want to talk too much and be crying on the internet. Beyonce won't like that. But if y'all do have any questions, and you are interested, I do have a Discord. You could drop them in the Discord, or if you don't feel like going to Discord, my Instagram is the same. Send me a DM or something. But I am gonna head up out of here right now, and I appreciate all of you guys for watching. I hope y'all liked the story in the beginning, and I hope to expand on that a lot further in the future. I do need practice, so I guess I'm gonna go out and practice on my neighbors or something. I don't know. I don't really leave my house that much because, you know, COVID is out there, and I have been good and safe this far and healthy up until today, and I'm still healthy, and I continue to keep it going, right? So that's all I got, you guys. All right, until next time, gamer babes.